Yo, what is up, YouTube? It is your boy Kasan. In this video, I'm going to be going over how I took my client from 25K per month to 100K per month with a high ticket product. But this is absolutely an insane topic because essentially we were selling how to grow glutes. This was a crazy offer. But yeah, I'm going to be going step by step on what are the principles that I use to actually scale and what mechanisms I use to actually sell the product as well. And yeah, I'm really excited, and this is gonna be a really sick video. And here are some different screenshots just to show you I am not capping. Right here, let me show you the Fanbases account. I can scroll through here. I'm not gonna share the names because I low-key don't want to get sued. But yeah, here are some payments just from a week of sales. And yeah, here's some other payments as well. Now, essentially, we did this without having to do any type of OnlyFans content, any type of weird Diddy stuff, or any type of stuff that would ruin our reputation. Also, we did this by making the world a better place. I felt like we had a lot of client testimonials as well as a lot of people who were happy with the product because we actually got them results. The guy that I was working with actually knew how to do what he was doing. Not like these other people who are out here just giving away different stuff and like not actually getting people results. Like, he was proven to make this shit work. So basically what I do is help coaches and creators scale. Basically I'm more on like the backend systems and marketing sides of things. A lot of people, they get into high ticket closing as well as setting. I'm the type of person who is like the manager of those type of people. And yeah, that's kind of what I do. I help them scale. And if you're interested, go ahead and reach out to me on Instagram down below. But basically, here is my client right here. I got him from 25K to 100K per month in 90 days. When I went to him at first, he hadn't started a high ticket product just yet. Didn't really know how to hire closers and setters as well as CSMs and trainers. Now, finding these types of people, if you want me to make a video on this, I can, but they're really easy. And if you have these people in place, you will have the ability to scale past 50K per month. Okay, so first things first, here are the processes I used to scale. Now, basically, number one thing that I have to say before going into this, if you have these three things before you actually create your offer, you're gonna make so much money and everything else will fall into place. If you have a good offer to begin with, you'll be able to scale to 75K, 100 per month. Like, even if your systems are terrible, you would be able to still scale to this amount if you have traffic and these three things. So first things first is establish what type of skill you or your client has. So whether they're in the health, wealth, or relationship type of niche, you have to kind of establish what type of skill they have. Second thing is, what outcome does the customer want? Do they want to actually go ahead and grow bigger glutes? Do they want to make 10K per month? Do they want to make 100K per month? You have to figure out what the customer wants specifically, and your product teaching them how they can get to that state. Next thing after that is, how are we going to sell the product? What mechanism are we going to use? Are we going to use like a DM funnel, a webinar funnel? Like, what are we going to use? So I'm going to go through the thought process of me actually going through everything before actually launching the actual product itself. So first things first, identifying the skill. For this client, it's really straightforward. He knows how to get people from flat to fat, to be honest. Like, there's nothing really else to it. And for the right market, it could be a really, really valuable skill. Also, this client had a lot of social proof. So he'd been training people for years. He had proof of multiple case studies as well as worked with some of the top models. So the first thing I did with him is asked him to send me all of the case study he had at hand, as well as some pictures of, case studies that he worked with clients in the past. So we have this person right here. She has millions of followers. This girl had like over 300K followers. This girl, I don't know who she is because it is just her butt, but I'm pretty sure she had a lot of followers as well. So he has a lot of credibility in the space. And what I made sure to do is make sure he is the main guy. I used as many case studies and testimonials as well as different social proof as possible to show that he is the main guy when it comes to something like this. He is the main guy. So once I had all that information, I needed to figure out what the customer desires and wants are. So basically, there's a few ways you could do it. if you already have buyers, that is the number one way to do it. So if you already have buyers that have bought something for $50, $100, and you have their phone numbers, go ahead and just call them up and be like, hey, what did you really like about the product, and what would you like to see in a high ticket product that we might sell into the future? That way you can actually give them or get an idea of what the customer wants. On top of that, you can actually possibly upsell them into the future. Another way that you can do it is get some Typeform information. You can do like a free lead magnet to get some information from the audience themselves. Also, you can look on Instagram for different analytics, which is pretty sick. You could also hop on calls with people, but that could be a little bit of a time waster. But from the information, just from speaking with some of the buyers, this is what type of information I got. So level one, this is the surface emotion, right? So this is like basic, everyone who follows him, this is what they want. They want to look better in the mirror, right? And they want to grow bigger glutes, right? So that's level one. Level two is a little bit more emotional. They want to feel more confident and better about their body and their glutes. So that's level two. And as we go into level three, you get into more of the deeper emotions. You feel a little bit, you feel a little bit more of like, okay, this is why this person actually wants to do it. So let's just say the person wants to grow their glutes because they've been bullied about them their whole life and have tried before with zero success, right? So that's a little bit deeper. And if you can find that deep emotion, then you can create a product and create messaging that is based off of those things. So level three, this is like the main thing that people want. So from this information, I created an ICP and avatar. Let's just name this girl Becky. She's 38. She's from Los Angeles. She likes her hobbies are yoga and kids, and she wants to grow her glutes in 90 days. So this is kind of an avatar that I always had in my head whenever, I thought about email to write, a funnel to build, as well as a specific, maybe story sequence to make, right? So this is kind of what I did right there to kind of figure out the customer's desires and wants. Now, the next thing I figured out is how are we actually going to sell the product? Now, just to be honest, the first way that I sold this product was through a ClickFunnels account. So basically, I did a ClickFunnels upsell. So a VSL, click a button, and then they get upsold into a different product. And that worked. So the first launch that we did like 70K, which is absolutely insane. But after that, I figured out the best way to actually sell this type of product was to do some sort of ManyChat DM funnel. And the reason why this is really effective is because it's very personal for this type of audience. Imagine if you feel subconscious about your body for a specific amount of time or a long time, you don't want to speak to some random person on the phone. You don't want to speak to a setter or a closer. You want to speak to the person directly. So what I did is I hired people in the DMs to actually set the calls for the closers, and this worked really, really well. We would do weekly story sequences, and we would just run it up to 100K just from this type of funnel, this DM funnel. So yeah, calls turned into cash, and the rest is history. You know what I mean? So actually, got all those sales. On top of that, we got some 8K PIFs, which is insane, some 10K days, which is also insane. And yeah, the rest was history. So yeah, this is like a quick overview of the most important parts of scaling to 100K per month. But if you want me to go super in depth on how the systems actually worked, I made this kind of graph. This is really dope. I have tons and tons of SOPs that I'm willing to give away for free. So let me know in the comments if you're interested in something like this. Go ahead. Also, DM me on Instagram. I'll put it up in the description if you have any questions about currently scaling your own clients. But yeah, definitely, if there's anything that you could take away from this video, there's going to be so much money made from info products, because if I could do it with one of my clients, just teaching people how to actually grow their glutes, imagine what you can do, maybe teaching people how to actually get a job or some sort of like high income set. Yeah, it's definitely pretty easy to scale to that 50 to 100K per month mark if you know what you're doing and actually giving away the right info. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. DM me on Instagram if you have any questions, and yeah, let's just go from there. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.